This is The Heat Source, the podcast where we learn everything we can about hot sauce, one bottle at a time. We're your hosts, Mike and Matt, and today we're trying Chooza hot sauces, Jwala green chili, and Jwala red chili sauce. Let's heat up. Welcome back to The Heat Source, where we learn about new sauces weekly, one bottle at a time. This week we are sponsored by Tears of Joy Hot Sauce Expo, coming August 9th. We'll talk about that soon. And we're trying actually a Canadian hot sauce brand, Chooza, which has a Jwala red chili and a Jwala green chili sauce. Very vibrant. I don't know if you've looked at the jars there.
Oh, I did. They've got like that nice like cremosa look to them. And I'm excited. Just did a little bit of my own research. It's not often you get a green sauce that's hotter than the red ones.
I was wondering if you were going to see that because I was looking it up and I'm like, all right, well, figure out the order. Obviously green, then red. And I'm like
that one's going to be mild. I'm like, oh, yeah, it's hotter. So I'm looking forward to that.
It's a little bit of a trickster. I like it. Yeah, it's Chooza is it's a sauce brand that they reached out to us. They asked if we wanted to try their sauce. They were very patient because we have a backlog of sauce. If you can see in the back, this isn't even all of it. I've got table boxes. You haven't been over here. It's still a madhouse.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're going to get into the Chooza hot sauce. We got a couple things just to talk about before. We're going to try both of the sauces. Normally we try one sauce. There's not a whole lot of like deep dive history. This is a relatively newer brand. The sauce has some good history to it, but before we get into that, I just had a couple points I wanted to talk about that came up. One of them was we're going to have an ad in the middle of the episode for our sponsor, but I just want to mention briefly Tears of Joy Hot Sauce Expo in Langley, British Columbia, Canada. I was telling you a little bit about it. Mm-hmm. It sounds like a very cool show. I'm a little jealous that I can't be there, but I'm going to try to see if I can't get some extra information about either the show while it's happening, if anyone's doing like live Instagram feeds, or after the fact, we'll figure out some follow-up stuff. But it's the first show of its kind, at least over there, that they're doing. So yeah, there'll be an ad in the middle, but I just wanted to give a little extra attention because with hot sauce shows, and obviously we want to promote all of the sponsors we have as best we can, but like with a hot sauce show, it's just really cool to see new hot sauce shows popping up. I know there's some people think there might be a lot of hot sauce shows. I really think there's quite a few gaps in the areas where there could be. I mean, we talk about Michigan and how well that could do. Joliet does well. Ohio has a couple of them. I mean, if Ohio has a couple of them, Michigan's got to step up. I mean, what kind of rivalry is this? But yeah, I just wanted to touch on that a little bit extra, and we'll talk about it in the middle of the episode. But something that just came up recently, and I didn't know, I was trying to figure out how to bring it up. Our friend Steve at Mammoth Sauce Co. sent us a lovely video today as a little early happy 4th of July.
I've ever seen in my life.
Do you want to describe it?
No, I'm going to throw up. So this bozo goes up to a fridge, like a water dispenser on a fridge.
Ruckin Mall is a great hot sauce. I just want to shout that out.
He's great with hot sauce, terrible at sending reels.
That Red Savina everything seasoning, so good.
Yeah. So the guy walks up to the water dispenser where you just push the glass in, and just a metric shitload of beans just dumps out of it, and it is absolutely disgusting. I was like, what's gonna happen here? Plop. And I was like, ugh.
Hey, at least it wasn't the thing you're terrified of that crawls.
Oh, that only thing that would have made it worse. But I almost dropped my phone. Like, it was just the plop.
I only agree with you that cold beans is disgusting. Like, not disgusting, but it's just not great. My grandpa would open a can of beans, kick them back while he's in a fishing boat, and just carry along, pork and beans. But yeah, so I thought it was in like the frozen ice cube dispenser, but you're saying the water?
Yeah. A lot of them are the same thing, but yeah, like and then a single ice cube falls out with it, which just makes it even that much grosser and weirder.
It's the equivalent of letting out a fart and a little bit of something else comes out.
Yeah, but I was expecting, like I fully was expecting from Steve a reel or a video from the company Colossal, who's cloning the mammoth right now.
Yeah, he's sent us some like different dinosaur and some like
Yeah,
prehistoric
I was
stuff before in the
expecting that. And
past.
then I saw that. I'm like, what a jerk. Thanks for thinking of me, but not how I want people to
He
think
wished
of
us a
me.
happy 4th of July. It was fine. But
He did. Humane days. Love you.
it does bring up a very good question that I want you to think about here.
No.
If you have a dispenser on your fridge it cannot be water, cannot be ice, but it can be any other. I went frozen. I said if there's any other like frozen things that could come out of that dispenser,
Hmm.
what's like the top 3 things that you would want to come out of there? Because I've got 3, but I wanted to see what you would think of.
You got to be food items.
I mean, it doesn't have to be, but I'm saying it's coming out frozen, so I don't know. I was trying to think of what non-food frozen items that I would want.
Ah, see, I would. The frozen. Ooh, I got a good one. They'd probably be fine frozen. Popping bobas. You know, like when you get like the fruit bobas at the frozen
Yeah,
yogurt bars. Probably go those.
those probably be good.
Yeah.
Or you use them as paintballs.
Yeah. Uh, I'm gonna go. I'm stuck between Pez and Skittles. That'd be like the world's greatest Pez dispenser.
Oh, I just thought of another one because you said that. Pez and Skittles, though, frozen?
I mean, you just set them on the counter for 10 minutes, they'll thaw.
Okay, so you're getting stuff that you can't eat right away. So I went, just because, and this is mostly because of my kids and their high demand of food, I went chicken nuggets number 1. Give me infinite chicken nuggets, so whenever the oven's ready, just
Yeah.
hit that
I will
button,
say, I
let
do
the cup.
fight with my 2-year old over who gets the chicken nuggets. She loves
Oh, I
them.
make extra,
I
and
love
then
them more.
I eat the rest. But then my other one was popsicles. If a whole popsicle just shot out, just whenever you want one,
Oh, yeah.
nice hot day, because whenever you need popsicles, that's usually when you're out.
Yeah.
And then we were in a dire need of the orange push pops
Hmm.
that they have at the store. Was sold out at our grocery
Nostalgia.
store here
Got
for
the
like
plastic plunger. Oh, I love
that. If you
those.
don't push it perfectly even, it flips, and suddenly now you're pushing sideways.
Yeah.
But so that was my number 2, and then my number 3 was garlic bread, just frozen slices of that garlic bread that you get at the store. But
Funny.
what you mentioned with the Skittles, I'm like, ooh, like a Milky Way bar from the freezer, or like a
Oh,
Three
yeah.
Musketeer.
Yeah. Some
That would be
frozen
good.
candy. Yeah.
Uh, I don't know if they're still in business anymore. I know they were going out of business, but Schwann's Frozen Food, the home delivery service, one of my jobs that I had in the past,
They're going out of business?
wasn't. They were, yeah, that's what I heard.
Really?
But they had what was called like the Gold Nugget Bar, which is basically like a mini ice cream Snickers almost, because it had like the ice cream layer,
Oh,
caramel, peanuts.
yeah.
So good. I would buy a box of it in my truck when I would do like the door to door kind of like trying to build a route. I would buy a box at the beginning of the week, put it in the freezer of the truck, and then just periodically would just grab one as I needed it.
Yeah.
So,
That's smart.
which even in the winter, I didn't care. Even in the winter, I was eating those. Probably gained 30 pounds on that job.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was my 3. I was like chicken nuggets, popsicles, garlic bread. I might swap out garlic bread for a frozen ice cream bar
Yeah.
or a frozen chocolate bar. So I'm curious what other people's ideas were. I was trying to think of like, for me specifically, I'm like, it's boring. Like I love frozen peas. Like I'll throw frozen peas in a salad, and then by the time I'm lunchtime, they're thawed and they're great. But I was thinking like vegetables and frozen, like that's frozen stuff, or like frozen lemonade concentrate. But it's like
Hmm.
then I gotta mix it and wait.
It's totally on topic. Did you ever get your tooth fixed from that rock you bit into in that salad?
Why? Does this side puffier?
I'm just asking. I don't know.
No, I never did.
Really? So you just got a chip back
So
there?
so I did it right before I went on vacation, and then I'm like, hey, I need to get this fixed. And they're like, yeah, I mean, it's fine. Like, we need to do a whole thing. Like, we can't just do a quick fix. We need to set up an
Yeah.
appointment, and it's going to be, more pricey and stuff. And I'm like, okay. And then it's like, yeah, but you're good. Like, as long as nothing worsens or nothing
Yeah.
else happens, like, it's structurally sound and everything. And so I'm
Really?
like, oh, okay. And I just never went back.
I never had a follow up, so I don't mean to put you on the spot and let the world know that you have a chipped tooth from a rock in a salad, but you know,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah. No, I never, nope. I will.
Good for
Probably.
you. I have a chipped bottom tooth.
Oh, okay.
I have a chipped bottom tooth, and I did it in like the most childish way. Like I always
Hmm.
thought I'd go in there and be like, I got in a fist fight, you
Yeah.
know, knock my tooth out, but you should see the other guy bit some fishing
Hmm.
line. I went in there, like the shells. When you're eating a piece of popcorn and you get like the thin outer shell.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I had one of those in my mouth, and I'm like, oh, I'll just kind of nibble on it, dude. To crunch down on that little tiny thin shell, and it just sheared like napping an arrowhead, sheared the back of my tooth off. I'm like, oh, that's wildly uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And they're like, when I showed up, they're like, so how'd you do this? I'm like, popcorn. She's like, oh yeah, kernels. It happens all the time. I'm like, no, this is just like the casing on the kernels. She's like, oh really? Yeah.
Like it's a lot.
It
Yeah, it's a
like
lot
the
weaker.
when I bit through it, the percussion on my tooth just must have been so perfect because it just like it took the back, nothing from the front. It just sheared the
Hmm.
back right off. Just a real thin
That's
layer
weird.
is the weirdest thing. And then they just put a coating on it. It's been fine ever since. So
Yeah. Every now and then I feel back there and I'm like, oh yeah, it's still around, but I'll get it
it's
fixed.
crazy. Like when it first happens, you're like, how will I carry on with life? Because it feels so different.
Oh, I
A
was
week later, you
absolute
don't even
panic.
notice it.
I was like, thought I was having a heart attack when I was
You
dealing with just like
you
what's
don't
going
get
on
mad
my
very
face.
often. That was one of the times I saw you mad.
Yeah. Well, you heard me, man. I left the office and realized what happened.
Yeah.
But but yeah. So yeah. So that was just a couple of things I wanted to touch on. The bean dispenser brought on a good question in my eyes. And again, and then it is coming up. It's 4th of July, so happy 4th of July, everyone!
Happy
If you're
Fourth.
listening to this right when it comes out, thank you for being punctual. If you're listening to this later, it's fine. I'm lazy too. So, um, but let's get into the first sauce, which is the red sauce. So I'm gonna go through just a little bit on the bottle here, since you don't have the bottle in front of you. Um, and again, this is a Canadian hot sauce company. Um,
Inspired by the world, though.
Yeah, it's interesting
All
because it's
over the place.
flavors of East Africa. It's got Indian
Yep.
influence with the Chooza style sauce, but it's from Canada.
Yeah.
So let me just read the ingredient list here on this one. So we've got canola oil, water, distilled vinegar, red peppers, Thai chili pepper, garlic, water, citric acid, salt, sulfites, white sugar, habanero pepper, concentrated lemon juice, um, lemon oil, ginger, citric acid, salt, paprika, salt. Why do I keep saying salt? Um, xanthan gum. Yeah. So just some of the key highlights of the. I don't know if this is me still on jet lag or if it's I'm reading the bottle right. Um, but this color, so of the two sauces, like they both have a very interesting color, but this one is a little more unique because like I'm used to a green sauce,
Yeah.
but this is almost like an orange, like almost like an orange cream
Yeah.
sauce
Creamy.
color.
Oh, it smells. You know what it smells like? If you were to close your eyes and just take a whiff of it,
Okay,
it smells like sauerkraut, like a good sauerkraut.
it has some of that, yeah, some of that vinegar and acidity.
Yeah, that's.
It is interesting. Mine has a stopper on it.
Oh, nice.
I don't know why we need
I got
that.
the wide mouth.
Yeah,
Brought to you by Quilted Pattern Ball Jars.
that's who we should have sponsor. Not necessarily like sponsor episodes like the people that do, but
Ball
like
Canning Company wants to sponsor us.
we should get a jarring sponsorship. Oh, that's a big
Are
pour.
you a Ball family or a Kerr family?
I don't understand the question. I only know ball. Is there Kerr is another type of jar?
I'm pretty sure. Now
I'm
I
a
gotta look it
Mason
up.
family. Mason jar.
Is Mason a brand or is that the style of jar? Is that like
I
saying
think it's just a
Q-tip?
style. Yeah.
Hold on, Kerr
Okay. Well, you look that up, but I am muffin topping on the edge here.
Kerr jars.
Is that Steve Kerr?
No, Kerr's a brand. Yeah, take a hike. Kerr's
Okay.
a brand.
I don't want to hike. I just didn't. I've never heard of it. Ball is the one that's always at Meyer. All right, we ready to try this? Because this is like perfectly.
Yeah,
This is part of the spoon now.
it's like the emulsified
Mm-hmm.
consistency.
All right.
Ooh, it's thick.
Ooh. Ooh, I like that.
Man, that's really good. That's super
I like
unique.
the little bit of lemon in there. I know that this one they talked about the red bell pepper,
Hmm.
the chili, and the chili and the the Thai chili and the habanero. Those three things
Yeah,
balance out this one a little bit more. So I'm curious how the green one is in comparison. But yeah.
that's really good.
Hmm.
So I'm not. I wish I knew more. I wish I could be like, oh, that's the East African flavors in there. Like,
Well, that's the thing. I'm not used to the some of the peppers. We're not as keen on some other than the traditional ones. Like we know jalapeno, we know habanero,
yeah,
ghost pepper, reaper. We know a little too well sometimes. Which Taco Vibes Only was on my taco tonight for dinner. That was a choice.
yeah, that's a choice. That is a really good sauce, though. It's got a almost like a sweetness, but not in like a sugary kind of way, and like a bell pepper
Yeah,
way. That's a good way to put it. You know how you get just kind of that bright, almost sweetness out of a bell pepper.
yeah,
I get that in the background, on top of some really good spices. That would go good on like any kind of chicken rice dish,
yeah.
or just
Absolutely.
chicken on the grill.
When we were in Iceland, Angela got a meatball dish with like a paprika sauce,
Hmm.
which I was like, that's weird that paprika is the key thing because that's just dried, ground up bell pepper, which isn't,
Yeah.
unless it's smoked, not like crazy flavorful.
Hmm.
I feel like the color of the sauce is very reminiscent, but I think this flavor wise would be just a huge boost to that.
Yeah.
Like, so some like, whether it be lamb meatballs or traditional.
Right.
Um,
And this, I mean, for me, tortilla chip sauce. I could just go through the whole bottle on chips. That is very good.
this is a very dippable sauce. Like,
Yeah.
really, whatever cracker, chip, you know.
Even just straight tacos, like a good, authentic cilantro and onion carne asada.
Yeah, I'm thinking just really like good grilled dishes, grilled meat, sautéed vegetables,
Yeah.
rice dishes. Nothing real like I don't. I mean, even like a breakfast burrito, I think this would do well with.
Yeah. It's kind of a do-all
Wow,
for sure. Anything that would classically have hot sauce.
it has good heat though. I mean, for being the lower of the two heats, it has good heat because I've done 3 spoonfuls, which might be part of it.
Right.
But and that canola oil, that emulsified texture really kind of coats the mouth, so you really get
Yeah.
the heat everywhere. Like it's
It's
on the lips,
that
back of the throat,
creamy
top of
texture
the.
to it. Yeah. That's
Mhm.
really good.
I know like some people are a little bit iffy about like the canola oils and that thing, but like it does give such a good
Yeah.
consistency, and it's. I mean, we had that with Miletta's. We had that with another one. I'm trying to remember what the other one was, but yeah,
Well, yeah, Miletta's has it in a lot of theirs, but I
I
was,
don't know about a lot, but some of the ones like I think two of them that we tried.
yeah, I was always kind of on the fence about it, of like I don't know, just I never really thought of putting oils like that in hot sauce. Definitely grown to like them for sure.
Yeah. Um, Before we get into a little bit of information about the sauce and the fun facts, do you know what we're gonna do?
We're gonna learn about this sauce company. Break for our sponsor.
There we go. Once a year, the heat descends on Langley, British Columbia. Tears of Joy Hot Sauce Expo, Saturday, August 9th. Langley Riders Society, just 40 minutes east of Vancouver and 2 hours north of Seattle. 10 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. For one day only, the spiciest event in Pacific Northwest unites award-winning British Columbian hot sauce makers, fearless flavor fanatics, and thrill-seeking food lovers from both sides of the border. Live punk bands, local beer tastings, free samplings of hot sauces, barbecue, salsas, pickles, oils, and more. Family games, face painting, a tattoo bus, and the infamous hot pepper eating contest. Admission is free, and if you bring a donation for the Salvation Army School Supply Drive or Langley Food Bank, you'll receive a special souvenir from our sponsors. Whether you're a chili chaser or spice curious, make the trip. This is the event you've been waiting for. Tears of Joy Hot Sauce Expo. The heat is real, the joy is free. There we go.
There it is. Sorry, New.
I'm setting him up, and then it's like,
Whiff.
you gonna swing?
Swing.
And we're back from our sponsor. What a good
Great sauce.
lead in
Saw
and
it coming.
outro.
Saw it coming
Yeah.
a mile away.
let's talk about this brand a little bit. So just a couple
See, I told
key
you, two
points.
birds, one stone. We're going to learn about the brand and we have a sponsor.
Yeah, we got both. So Ontario, Canada based. Chooza sauce itself has been around since the 80s. On their website, they talk about how it's been around since the 80s. It's a fusion of East African and Indian flavors. When I looked up the brand, I was like, all right, let's look up Chooza, and I didn't put hot sauce. A bunch of recipes for a Chooza style sauce.
Oh, really?
Mhm. And then, according to the social media presence, they've only been really advertising this for sale for 6 months at least, more outside of maybe local. I don't know when they started locally. They don't have a lot of like online presence before that. I do see some people. I think Snailmate, which is a hot sauce review duo, they did a review like 2 months ago. So I am seeing some traction with places trying the sauce.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just it's inspired by East Indian Kenyan flavors, which I'd like to say I'm more fluent in, but I'm not. But it now that I can look up, I think they have on their website a recipe section. I can check that out, see what dishes they call for, and then maybe I'll learn a little bit more about the dishes there.
Yeah.
But I really like the heat level. The heat level to me is almost perfect for me, and it's not a huge spike or it's not a huge draw where you're hanging on it for a bit. I feel the warmth still on my lips, but I'm fine.
Yeah.
My the back of my throat a little bit just because it tickled somewhere back there where I'm like might have to a little clear the throat, but
Yeah.
that is a really good first entry level sauce of the two.
Yeah. For me, the spice level's perfect. Of like, I would say that's on the high end of one of those sauces where you just eat the whole bottle. Obviously there's some where it's like you definitely shouldn't or you can't do that if it's hot enough, but I can.
Well, and this
I
is
can
just
eat
us
the whole
trying it
bottle of
straight.
that one. Yeah, right.
Think about you putting it on a dish. You throw that on like a breakfast burrito.
It's gonna
I could
mellow it
put
out. Yeah.
I could put a quarter of that bottle in there, or you throw it in something that you're just dipping, whatever wrap or whatever you got. Like, forget about that.
Right.
But I'm gonna go. Well, I'll let you go into your fact for the first one here.
What do you think I went with?
You went with something about East Africa.
I did.
Okay.
Yep. Fish and their oral capabilities.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I went with. Are you familiar with cichlids, the fish?
I am not.
I'm sure you are. You ever been to like a dentist's office or anything like that, and they have a
Yeah.
fish tank there with almost kind of bluegill shaped, colorful fish?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure.
Yeah.
With 100% certainty, you've seen cichlids.
Have they been at the Meyer fish display?
They have some in there, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Then I've seen them.
Yeah. Super common. Thousands of species of them. In East Africa, there's Lake Victoria, and there's two other lakes along with it.
Yeah.
Those lakes contain, between the three of them, 600 of the just over 1,000 species of cichlids. So it's like that's
Okay.
the heart of cichlid territory. But what I found pretty interesting is some of them, a lot of them are mouth brooding species. So when they lay their eggs, the female will actually suck all the eggs into her mouth and she will hold them in her mouth. Really great defense against predators. A lot of crawlies around the bottom of lakes and stuff. A lot of fish raid beds. Female just hangs out with the eggs in her mouth for the entire time. And I think even some species of cichlid with the little hatchlings, they'll open their mouth and the fry will swim into their mouth. I think they have a scene like that on Finding Nemo. That's not a cichlid, but you've seen that where the fish opens their mouth and all the fry just dive right in.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's really neat.
It's weird because I did all store all the eggs in my mouth with deviled eggs just to protect them from other people at the party, but they do it for more survival. That's interesting.
That's funny. Speaking of deviled eggs.
I mean, they're half eggs, so you can really just shove them.
Yeah. Kind of like a chipmunk.
Like
just plug them on
chipmunk.
the side.
I chipmunk on both sides. I got deviled eggs on one side, and I got I don't know, something else on the other.
You know how
It's pinwheels. I got my pinwheels on the other side.
that one's kind of gross. I can see a deviled egg getting stuck in there.
Well, so the pinwheels aren't as big as you're thinking. My mom makes these the
Look at
Mexican
Zombies,
roll-ups.
though.
They're like Tex-Mex roll-ups where it's like cream cheese with like taco seasoning and black olives and pimento and
Yeah.
green onion. Very, very good. Yeah, I can chipmunk those on one side.
At Easter dinner this year, we were talking about it like a staple wedding present for someone who got married in like the probably 70s, 80s, 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Number one on everyone's list for wedding gift was deviled egg tray. And I would love to know the last time a deviled egg tray was given as a wedding present. I just feel like it's not a thing anymore.
How many deviled egg trays do you have in your home right now?
In my home, none.
Really?
None.
Okay.
How many do you have?
Travel one's 3 and glass one 1.
That's funny. Were they wedding presents?
So, no.
No. You just bought them.
No,
I
I don't
think the
know.
only reason
I think we just purchased them. Well, we purchased them. The glass one, I think, was a hand-me-down from my grandparents, which probably was a wedding gift to them.
100%. If it's a glass one, it was a wedding present for sure.
Yeah, I got all their, I got not all of it, but I got some of their appetizer stuff. Like I got this one like silver tray that has little ceramic
Yeah.
dishes in each where you put pickles and olives in it.
Yeah.
It doesn't go with anything else we have, but I just bring it out and I'm like, I'm a butler, just
That's funny.
serving up hors d'oeuvres.
I do find it funny that like to Tupperware companies, there was a significant market for deviled egg trays at one point in time. And then there was just a cultural shift where those were no longer given as presents.
I disagree. I think that they're still presents.
I mean they are, but they're just not commonly given as presents. I don't know why. Maybe you know what it could be market saturation. Because when families get together, like all the grandparents have the deviled egg trays, so the kids don't need them.
Yeah, but like deviled eggs are still a staple at the functions you go to. It's just that someone else has the trays, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's always deviled eggs, but like
Yeah.
if I show up to a peer event, no one's like brought the deviled eggs. As much as I would
would.
love that, that's just not. what
I
you
can't
do.
relate to this because we are usually the deviled egg provider for Angel's side of the family, and my parents know that we want deviled eggs whenever we go to their house.
Yeah.
So like
I'm not knocking.
we're either bringing the
Absolutely
tray or
love 'em.
taking them. Yeah.
I'm bummed out when they're not there. It's just that I feel like the elders normally hold that responsibility.
I
'Cause they
I
own
want to
the
do
tray.
I want to do a deviled egg roulette where one of them in the middle, like before you put in the filling, one of them just has like a big chunk of like Reaper pepper in there, or just like a good splash of like a hot sauce.
It just
And you
reminds me of Farva with the soap and the coffee. Like if you just snuck a Reaper into someone's food, he
Yeah.
got you good, you effer. You know,
Um,
like that doesn't really apply. That's just a dick move.
there was a Good Mythical Morning does this new thing on YouTube. I think it's called Good Mythical Weekend, where they have some of the crew, not the two main guys, but the crew do stuff. They had one where there were 6 people, and they had deviled eggs, and each one is progressively hotter, so like 1 through 6 in spice. I think the hottest one had like the last dab in it. And then they had to then figure out who had the hottest, which is really tough because tolerance could be all over the place.
Yeah.
But it was really interesting because the person that had the hottest the first round, and they had to keep doing it until they got it right. So the person that got it the hottest the first round, he got an even hotter. No, he got one less hotter egg the second round, but he was like, I don't think I got anything in this one. And so he like did not feel any spice the second round, even though it was almost as hot as the first round.
Yeah.
And so when he realized it, he was just like, I think I'm a superhero now. Like heat doesn't bother me. But it's like, no, man, you just building your tolerance.
That's funny.
We got in a lot of deviled egg talk here. This is I would venture to say this is the most deviled egg talk we've ever had on the podcast.
All thanks to East African cichlids.
East African cichlids, yep. And those egg sucking moms. Jeez. All right. So, my fact. This is just because it seems like an obvious one, but it's something that I want to make sure people are informed of. Dwala on the bottle. It says Dwala red chili sauce. The other one we have says Dwala green chili sauce. Do you know what Dwala is?
I think it's a type of pepper, isn't it?
Yep. The Dwala pepper, also known as the Indian Dwala or Pusa Dwala, is a popular chili variety in India, particularly in, I'm going to butcher this region, Gujarat. It's known for its long, wrinkled, finger-like shape and its ability to transition from light green to orange and then red as it matures. The fun fact is it's a staple in Indian cuisine and can reach a height of 3 to 4 feet. I don't know if that's the plant or the pepper.
I would
I'm
definitely think that's the
assuming
plant, but I feel like
plant.
a 4 foot pepper plant. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't have a ton of experience, but you see like a 2 foot jalapeno plant, you're like, good lord, look at that thing.
yeah. So my fun fact, I will tell you my second fun fact off the rails from this. Like this one is very obvious. Like, oh, it says Joel on the bottle. Let's find out what that is. But whenever we have like a new culture uh, with a sauce, it is nice to get a little bit more of that area, that region, a little more understanding. Because I mean, obviously it's a pepper, but there's a little bit of fun fact for you. So little simple fun fact on this one. But
Nice.
I'll try another spoonful of this. This is a good. This is I know we kind of went real kind of simple with the hey, dip it in anything, put it in a burrito, the grilled meats. But it's just a really good sauce.
Yeah. Bless your heart. It is almost midnight right now, and you were just putting it away.
Hmm.
The only reason I'm not down in this bottle right now is because I'm going to go lay horizontally for the next 8 hours.
I mean, you got to get your body accustomed to this stuff. You're never gonna be ready for the Steve Seabury Stage of Doom if you're not willing to train like this. He's changing it all up this year. Everything is going to be upside down eating
I was going to
contests.
say, I picture you hanging from monkey bars by your feet and then chugging bottles of hot sauce upside down in preparation
I
for.
hook my ankles into the bar above my doorway, and then I do a sit up, and then I go down and I take a spoonful of hot sauce,
You're like,
a Reaper pulled pork sandwich,
Angela, quick,
a
punch me in the
spicy
gut.
yeah, yeah. Then I have my kids take turns just slamming me in the gut with like a baseball bat, progressively getting harder and harder.
Oh, that's fun.
But no, I mean that's fair. It is kind of late to do that, but we're gonna try another sauce that's hotter here soon. But no, this is a fantastic sauce. The website, I forgot to mention it, chooza.ca is the website. Chooza_ca is the Instagram page. But no, I really like this sauce. I think it's very versatile, even though it is obviously has the influence of the East African Indian, the Kenyan influences there. I think this really could go on a lot of dishes that I eat day to day. I mean, I made tacos today. I would have no problem putting this on a taco. Even though it's not the traditional way to do it, it's still better than my traditional Ortega sauce, which I found a bottle like in the back of the pantry, and it's medium heat, and I just laughed at it and put it back in the pantry.
Oh, it's tomato water with a pepper coughing in the room next to it. I
Um,
used to love Ortega.
did you? I sent you a video of Babish on YouTube of him where he tries a bunch of hot sauce. Did you ever look at that video?
I don't think so.
You will be very pleased if you watch that because there's a certain brand of sauce that I know we sometimes dig on quite a bit because it's a very popular sauce but doesn't have the flavor.
Truff.
He hated it.
Good for him.
It was what I don't think it was the lowest score he gave, but it was in the bottom three. And he
Yeah.
tried like
It's not hot sauce.
30 sauces.
Yeah. Good for him.
Yeah, but also he was tricked where he thought he knew what Frank's was, and Frank's is his favorite sauce, and it was Crystal's, which he thought was garbage before he did the thing, and he's like, I don't know what way is up anymore.
That's so funny.
So,
Again, now that you got me fired up about it, Truff is like the IPA of beers. No one actually likes IPAs,
okay.
like the real bitter hoppy ones. It's just people get together that don't have friends, and they're like, let's bond over this IPA and say that we really like it. That's like the Truff equivalent.
My only thing is like it's not that it's like disgusting. Like we've had a disgusting hot sauce where we're like,
Yeah,
why would you do this? It's just not.
it's just chemical.
To me, it's not very exciting.
Yeah,
To me, it's like
it kind of
like
belongs on pasta, but I'm getting a really strong chemical taste that tells me not to eat this.
I still have that the bottle you gave me that you had opened. You're like, here, you take it. I don't need it, and I tried it. And it's just in the bottom
thing's
shelf of my
old.
fridge.
I think that expired in 2016 for sure.
Could be. Oh, I didn't send you the picture, but I saw their green truff, which some people have said. Who's the guy? Oh, Hot Sauce Mike, who works out of the Jungle Gyms in Ohio. He tried the green label of theirs, and he said that actually was better than their other stuff. So I'm like, well,
probably
that's.
got paid.
I don't think so. He's pretty.
He probably got.
He's pretty ingrained into
Someone
the.
said it was good. He probably got paid.
He had just there's like a knife out of camera, just like right up here.
Yeah,
Um,
like the hostage cards when you see someone reading and kind of very robotically reading through. Truff is very good. I like this truff very much. You should buy
he's
some.
just like blinking Morse code of like help.
Yeah.
Um, but no, he said that, and then I saw it at my local grocery store, but it was like middle shelf, and I'm like, someone's not top shelf anymore. Buffalo Wild Wings was on the top shelf, so it's not really making any sense.
Million times better. High fructose
Um,
corn syrup, million times
you could
better.
buy, you could buy bottles twice the size at a fifth of the cost of garlic parmesan, and just have that for a
Swing by
while.
Mickey D's, get some chicken nuggets, toss them in that.
One tip, and then we'll get back on track here with the scores. One tip: take that Parmesan garlic sauce from Buffalo Wild Wings, use that as the binder where you take your chicken, you put it in that sauce, and then you put in your breadcrumb and your Parmesan or your
Oh,
mozzarella. You got a nice Parmesan garlic chicken that you cook up.
you know what
So
I do with it? I take that garlic parm and I put it on my BLTs in place of mayonnaise.
that's a good call too.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I would probably cut it with mayo, like I'd make because I don't know
It's
if
definitely
it's a little.
strong. You got to go thin.
Yeah, so that's the only thing for me. I took Hook and Arrow's cayenne habanero sauce and put that with a little bit of mayo and dipped my sushi in that. That felt weird and like I was insulting the Asian culture.
Oh,
We're just confessing to food crimes now. Is that what we're doing?
yeah.
Um,
You get a written note of permission to do that.
I'm gonna cease and desist probably tomorrow morning. Um, but no, this is a good sauce. The on our scale of 0 to 5, I put this as a 2. It's a good solid heat. There's a presence. It's not getting any type of reaction, but it is a lingering.
Yeah,
Like it does kind of hold a little bit.
I had a 2+.
Um, yeah, and then out of 100, I had this as an 84.
I had 88.
Yeah, I think this is a really good sauce.
Very good.
Anything above 75, we would have in our kitchen year round. 50 and above, recommend to buy. So this is clearly up there as a one we would definitely recommend people to check out. Um, it has a nice smooth consistency. I don't think you need the stopper. I don't know what I did with it. Oh, it's back on the top. But I don't think you need the stopper. But if you have it on there, maybe it'll last you a little bit longer. I have a feeling whoever tries this is gonna rip that stopper off of there and just smother stuff
Yeah.
with it. But it is. I mean, with the canola oil, it does have that smooth consistency. I like the little bit of citrus in it, and I think it has a good heat. So that is really good. Before we get into the next sauce, we're not going to go to another sponsor because we already did that. I had a little intermission question for you because it's 4th of July coming up.
Hit me with it. 1776.
Great. I found a list where it said the most popular dishes in each state. So it said this is what was determined to be the most popular dish on 4th of July in each state. And then they compiled how many states had like what item was like in the most states.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got the 6 most popular food items. And in that top 6, one of them is Michigan. So I'm going to you don't have to play a game if you don't. I can go through the list and then have you guess which one Michigan is, or if you want to throw a couple things out there.
Potato
Just to
salad's on
see.
that list for sure.
You're sure?
Not anymore.
It's number 1.
Okay.
Yeah, it's number 1. 10 states. 10 states have potato salad.
Okay. I'm assuming Michigan's on there, but read them off to me, and then I'll tell you what one's Michigan.
All right. So potato salad is number 1 with 10 states. Baked beans, number 2 with 8 states. Deviled eggs, already talked about it quite a bit.
What a
Number 3 with
coincidence.
5 states. Macaroni salad, number 4. I
Hold
love
on.
macaroni salad.
Hold on. Hot deviled eggs. July heat deviled eggs. That's really surprising to me. That to me, that's like a spring, fall, Easter, Thanksgiving meal.
First of all, potato salad, deviled eggs, and macaroni salad, all cold dishes.
Didn't think about that at all.
All mayo based.
100%.
But second thing, I've never seen deviled eggs last. So let's just talk about that either.
Fair.
Number 5, smoked brisket. That also had 5 states. And number 6, grilled corn. That had 5 states. So the last 4 had 5 states
Okay.
in each.
Grilled corn and
What-
brisket are in the south. Baked beans, I'm gonna go south. What were the other ones?
Potato salad, deviled eggs, and macaroni salad. Now again, it was 10 states, 8, 5, 5, 5, 5. So like there's a lot of states in the South, but like
Yeah.
you listed like 3 different things that are South, and I think you listed like all the states.
Yeah. I'm gonna say my brain right now is actually telling me macaroni salad for Michigan,
Hmm.
but I am gonna say potato salad. Get those extra two odds in there.
Great guesses. Unfortunately, it's your nemesis, baked beans.
In Michigan?
Hmm.
Oh, that's fucked up. I'm sorry. It's a family podcast. I'm sorry.
We'll bleep
Disgusting.
it out.
That is a
We'll bleep it out.
southern food. Go back to the south with that.
Yeah, I don't know what sound effect we'll use, but we'll use something for that one. Um, no, baked beans, which I can't disagree. My mom makes baked beans for like almost every
I see
function,
them all the
especially
time,
Fourth of
but
July.
I just would have thought that would have been more of a southern thing. Like,
You thought better of Michigan.
yeah, I just think like chubby northerners up in Michigan are like more about the macaroni salad. You know what I think it is? Like, I'm not afraid of beans. Well, I'm afraid of beans, but I've never had like a bad experience.
The person who said they almost dropped their phone seeing the
Oh,
beans.
okay. I take it back. I'm terrified. But I never like there was never a moment where I'm like I had a vat of beans dumped on me when I was a kid. Like none of that ever happened. But I think you ever see the movie oh what is it? Dennis the Menace with Walter Matthau.
Hmm.
Um,
Oh, the beans in
when
that one, yeah.
Christopher oh what's his name? Doc Brown.
Christopher Lloyd.
Christopher Lloyd when he eats the kettle of beans when he's
Yeah.
handcuffed trying to get the key. That scene might have done it for me.
That is, I mean,
It's
you
disgusting. He's got a huge pregnant gut. He's coughing up beans. Ate the whole freaking thing. Oh,
you mentioned the Dennis the Menace, and I'm like, yeah, I think I know the movie. And then you said the Christopher Lloyd beans, and I immediately thought of that scene. So
yeah.
like Dennis the Menace, I was like, yeah, I kind of know the bean scene, and I haven't seen that in a while. So
Walter Matthau, one of my favorites. Good movie.
not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. He's dead.
Don't know how that would work.
Sponsor it. Yeah.
Yeah, Walter Matthau is not a sponsor. Dennis the Menace not a sponsor. Uh, Tears of Joy is a sponsor.
You know what I? No, that's not true. Oh wait, you know what I just thought of?
Okay.
Who's the actress that plays the mom in Back to the Future?
Lily Tomlin?
Yeah,
Not Lily Tomlin. No, Leah Thomas. Leah Thompson.
Thompson. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's also the mom in Dennis the Menace. So her and
Is she really?
yeah, her and Christopher Lloyd were in two movies together. Well, more than two, I guess. Four movies.
Well, that's a continuation because she divorced and then remarried in the saga. It's the first three Back to the Futures, and then it's Dennis the Menace.
Same universe.
Yeah, same universe.
Christopher Lloyd loses it all, becomes a burglar.
Yeah, yeah. Well, because he changed the timeline.
Ah,
You know,
that's what it is.
he went back.
Yep. Should have taken
So
advantage of that sports almanac, jerk.
I think about that all the time. I'm like, I just need one. I don't even need a whole sports almanac. Just let me see one page. Let me see one thing. Um. All right, let's get into the next sauce here. That was a little reprieve. Let's get into this vibrant green sauce that is hotter than its red counterpart.
Surprising.
This,
Not often we get this little treat here.
which that had a good kick to it, so I'm a little bit intrigued on how much more heat. I mean, it doesn't have to be a lot to be above, but
Smells.
oh.
It got a very similar smell, but this one almost more of a pickly smell to me.
So this one on the ingredient list, canola oil is still number one, but green Thai chili is number two. Vinegar is then fourth after water. Cilantro, lemon juice. You got sugar. You got brown sugar, garlic paste, ginger paste, and then just citric acid, salt. So like,
I'm gonna like this one.
yeah, I have a good feeling about this one. Another stopper. Oh yeah, that one smells good. I made for the tacos today because I realized that like tacos are one of the dishes that you can, other than like the protein, depending on if it's on sale or what you get, everything else you can get such dirt cheap, like all your toppings. Because I made a poblano lime cilantro crema where I just had sour cream, charred some poblanos,
Yeah.
did the whole thing.
89 cents on the ingredients.
Yeah, it cost me like, we already had the sour cream, so it cost me like, $2. And it's for chips, it's for everything. This obviously has a bit of the feel of that with the cilantro and the citrus, but obviously not the poblano. It's got the Thai pepper, the Thai chilies instead, but it has a similar color though. That was what made me think of it.
Mm-hmm.
Let me pour the spoonful here. Another nice emulsified, even consistency there. Ready to try that?
Yep.
Ooh, garlic and cilantro right away.
Man, that's good.
It's very good.
It is really, really, really good.
I take that back. This is the taco one, even though it's got the Thai.
Yeah. Oh, they're listening. They're gonna be listening to this, being like, "You think the red one goes on tacos? You just wait for that green one."
I know.
Man, that's really good. And it's not much hotter actually to me than the red one.
It has a bit more of a bite to it.
Yeah.
So I think when they talk about how the first one's balanced, I mean, there's a little bit more, not raw pepper, but just like it cuts a little bit more.
Dude, I've got a bunch of Mexican friends. I'm gonna be like, "You guys heard of Chooza
Okay,
before?"
brag much.
Be like, "You guys."
I have a friend from Brazil.
I used to have a friend from Brazil.
No, this is really good. I'm liking this. Yeah, I think it's just more the peppers are a little more intense. I don't know if like the heat is really that much higher. It is higher, but it is building a bit too. So that
Man,
also
that's
is
really
there.
good. That's taken everything I have right now to just not chug the rest of that jar.
This, I mean, you don't have to say it. This is a tortilla chip sauce for sure.
Yeah, like it would go good on pretty much anything tortilla meat related. You don't have to bother with that. Just throw it on a chip.
Dip a quesadilla in this. Smother this on your breakfast food.
Yeah.
Ooh. This is the heat that I think this might be my peak heat, where it's like I'm right on that edge.
I'm not getting peak. I'm getting duration out of mine. Not peak, but duration.
Yeah.
It's hanging on longer than the red one.
This is like high 2, low 3, because I think that if I keep doing it, I'm gonna get a little bit more. It's also warm in our house. We don't have AC. I'm in the basement, but it's not exactly primed to keep me cool. So
Right.
maybe I'm sweating for that. Maybe it's from the yard work I did before I recorded, but that's a good sauce.
God, you know what you went from telling me every single day to not once in the last probably 3 months is you doing ice baths.
I haven't done them lately.
That's why you haven't told me about them. Any morning
Yeah,
you do them, I knew about it.
Well, also we work together, so I had to think of something to say to you.
That's right. Now that we're friends, you don't have to tell me that.
Yeah. I'm gonna start being a vegan though, because that way I can tell you about that all the time.
Don't even bother.
No, actually, now that you mention it, I
have
did
some
just empty
respect
the
for
ice
vegans.
bath. What's that?
I said I have some respect for vegans. Where I'm like, you're trying to make a good choice. If you take it that far, you should stop driving cars. You should stop essentially walking because you're going to step on bugs. Um, there's just kind of a line where it's like, if that's what you're going for, you're by accident you kill a lot of things. Shoot, you wash your hands, you just killed a billion germs. You know.
Yep. And then
Anyways, you can edit that out. That's fine.
No, we're gonna keep that in. Special shout out and so long to our 97% vegan viewership that we had. I just did a survey last week, and
Oh, that's funny.
they're gone.
Oh,
I still love them.
that's funny.
Yeah, I was really pleasantly surprised with the first one. This one has been,
Red one's good. This one's very good.
I mean, just our track record. After doing as many episodes as we have, we know which things are gonna, if as long as you do it well, we're gonna really like. This reminds me of like the Shrunken Head hot sauce from Apocalypse.
Yeah.
It's where like we love those green sauces that are really that we're both cilantro fans. The cilantro, the lime, the citrus. You know, you do it well, we're gonna be a fan of it.
Right.
So that's a really good sauce. Yeah, it reminds me, it's a little bit thinner than it, but it does remind me of like a crema where you have like it's that type of green,
Right.
and I could see that going really well. You could also do it on like your grilled meats, but I would do that with Mexican food or just with chips. Like I got a whole bag of tortilla chips upstairs. I could demolish this right now.
Yeah.
So with the second sauce, I want to see if you can pick what I went with my fun fact for this. And I have Not that I don't think that you're a very smart individual. I have zero faith that you're going to guess this.
I feel like when you have to say something like that out loud, you're thinking it, but you overthink it, and you make them think that that's what you're thinking. So me with my low IQ, I'm gonna guess that you went with the history of the Kenyan flag.
No, that's a good one, though. That would have been a good one.
Okay,
It's even more off topic. So these are very vibrant colors of green and red. I went with the history of stoplights.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
So the colors were
Wouldn't have
so
got that.
vibrant. The colors were so vibrant. We're doing two sauces from the same company that have a green and then and a red. I looked it up, and the first traffic light was a gaslit semaphore system that was installed in London in 1868, which sounds great, except it had a short life, exploding and injuring its operator within a month.
That was the first stoplight.
That was the first stoplight, the first traffic light.
Now,
The first electric one, multicolored traffic light, similar to what we use today, appeared in the U.S. in the early 20th century.
how'd the original one work? Was it just like a burning oil flame, and then they
It
put like a
says
green or red filter in front of it?
it says gaslit semaphore system. I don't know what
I don't know what a
that
semaphore
means.
is.
Let me look up. Let me
Is
look
it
up.
just
a
like
picture.
if the light's going, you can go. If it's out, you can't?
I know there was an operator too. So like, did they just have someone stationed at every corner? Used a mechanical arm to indicate the signal's state during the day, and a gas lamps for night visibility. Okay.
Oh, it's probably like the ones you see in the cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the arms, the scissors,
Yeah.
like the red
So
and
that's
green.
what a semaphore is, but
Gotcha.
the gas lamp part was for night visibility.
Yeah. Blew up.
So,
Did it kill the guy? I forgot.
it's just said injured.
Okay.
So, I mean,
Then
back
Oshu.
in 1868, I mean, unless he was like 5 years old, he probably didn't have long to live anyway.
Even at
Those life
5 years old
expectancies
in
back then.
1868, you probably didn't have long to live anyways.
Your odds weren't good.
Yeah. That's so funny.
Not funny,
It's,
but
that's so not funny.
anyway, that was my fact. What was your fact?
Where do you think I went with?
Um, I will say you went with. I'm trying to think of something green that you would go with. I don't know. Just like the green chilies. I don't know.
Nope. I stayed right there in Lake Victoria in East Africa, home to the
Okay.
Nile crocodile, which I knew
Oh,
I
okay.
knew crocodiles were up there, but specifically the Nile crocodile has the
Hmm.
highest bite psi in the animal kingdom. Can you guess? And there's always a couple different lists, but the list I'm looking at here, can you name 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? So this has 7 items on here.
Okay.
See how many you can get of animals with the highest bite force. And I already gave you the first one. Now crocodiles won at 5,000
Okay.
psi.
I know that it's significantly less than 5,000, but I'm still going to guess it. Gorilla.
I wouldn't have got gorilla. You got it.
Well, because we talked about in the 100 people versus gorilla. I think I said like they had like a 1,500 psi
This
average,
says
or maybe.
1,300, but yeah, close enough.
Okay. So I'm already feeling like I'm ahead of the game there. At that point, I'm
I wouldn't
probably
have
going
got
to
it.
lose.
Yeah.
Lion,
Nope. Not terribly far off, but no.
tiger.
Not a little bit closer. I'll give you a hint. Videos of them jumping out of trees onto alligator or crocodiles has become really trendy lately.
They have? I don't know.
Jaguar.
What is that? Oh, jaguar. Okay.
Yep.
Really? So jaguar has a stronger bite psi than a lion and a tiger.
Yeah, it says 1,500 psi. Now this is just the first list I'm looking at here. I'm sure those are up
Sure.
there, but if you look at a
Interesting.
jaguar's head, just like the cheek muscle on a jaguar, oh,
Hmm.
it's crazy. It looks like one of those celebrities that just had way too much Botox, and it's just like a head with knobs sticking out of the side of it.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm going to get much. Oh, hippopotamus.
Hippo, yep. You're working
Yeah.
perfectly straight up from the bottom.
I always start from the bottom. um, yeah, those are the ones that I'm thinking of that just, I remember the video of like how easily hippos just crush
Yeah.
whatever
I'll give you the rest of
Um,
the list here. Gorilla
yeah.
1300 psi, Jaguar 1500 psi, Hippopotamus 1800 psi,
Mm,
American Alligator 2125 psi,
mm,
um, Great White Shark estimated 4000 psi from a reconstructed jaw. Coming in at
okay.
number two is the saltwater crocodile at 3700 psi, and at number one is the Nile crocodile at 5000 psi with a maximum length of 20 feet.
Was the other one the American crocodile?
American alligator, I believe.
Alligator. Okay, so alligator and crocodile are
Three
three
of
of
the
like the
top
top
four, yeah.
four.
Yep.
Okay.
One of what's really
Yeah, I
funny,
would have.
I might have told this story before. My little brother and I, we were down in Isle um,
Hmm.
kayaking around. So we're fishing. We go through these mangroves over by like Robbie's Marina down in Isle. It's the famous one where people hang their hand off the dock and then you get tarpon that come up and swallow you up to your shoulder.
Okay.
Um, so we're kayaking through there. There's a huge patch of mangroves, and we go in there and we're fishing for hours, right? And we're in and out of the mangroves, getting snagged, like hanging out, trying to get this out. We pop
Hmm.
out, and the guy in the dock is like, "Were you guys just in there in kayaks?" We're like, "Yeah, fishing's all right back there." He's like, "Dude, has the highest density of American crocodiles in the United States." We're like, "In there?" He's like, "Yeah." We're like, "Oh, we just spent like 3 hours goofing around in there, just pretty much splashing hands in the water the whole time." That was kind of one of those.
No big deal.
You know when you look back at something like you're totally not in danger, but when you look back at it, you like have the pit in your stomach of like that could have went real sideways.
Yeah.
That was one of those moments where it's like, oh, wish I would have known about that.
I mean, not that the fact that you were safe after, better that you knew after and not while you're like in the middle and they're like, get out of there. There's,
Yeah.
you
Problem
know.
was we had to kayak back through it to get home because we were about
Oh yeah,
4 or 5 miles to kayak through it. So we hauled ass home.
that's fair. Um, yeah, no, okay, good facts. Good facts this week. We hadn't recorded in a while, so those, we stored up some good
The
ones. Um,
pent up fact
no,
release.
this sauce though, I mean, really happy with both of these sauces. You never know, especially like, and this is a good kind of a point to be made because I'm always a fan of like when I find a new hot sauce and I go to their website and I if they have any content on social media and maybe they did an interview on a podcast, it's like clearly that gets me immersed into like knowing the brand and the people and I have more excitement for that.
Mm-hmm.
I was unsure with like, hey, there's not a whole lot online about this brand. I talked to them a little bit, super nice, very patient with us on trying the sauce, but it's like look at how wowed we were by these sauces that just is starting out on Instagram. Like I think 30 posts on
Yeah.
Instagram. So this sauce I had is a high 2, low 3 for heat. I think it's got that right on the edge of making me kind of react and sweat.
Yep.
Not snot or nothing crazy, but I had this as a 90 out of 100.
I had 96. Hold on. I
Holy
might have just
cow!
lied. I might have just lied.
Do your math again.
96. I was right.
Okay. Wow.
That's one of my highest ever. I truly enjoyed that one. The red one was very good. This one just
Yeah.
like the perfect amount of lime. Sometimes you get too much lime, sometimes not enough. This is a good balance of lime, cilantro, and garlic.
Yeah. No, I really like it. It's actually the lemon juice.
Lemon juice. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure that I was right on that. But yeah, so and that might be it. It's like instead of the lime juice
Could
because it's a
yeah,
different
could be it.
culinary, region, it's like they're using lemon juice instead and I think that helps.
Yeah.
And something I don't taste in it but maybe helps balance out those flavors. It has ginger paste in there, which I wasn't getting super strong, but it blends well.
Yeah, right.
Um
Don't ever adjust this recipe. Do us all a favor.
no, this is really good. So again, Chooza, CHOOZA dot C or yeah CHOOZA dot CA for the website, CHOOZA_CA for Instagram. A couple special thank yous before we get going. Special thank you to Neil at Tears of Joy Hot Sauce Expo, who's coordinated with me to sponsor this episode, and he'll be sponsoring a couple more episodes leading into the August 9th Hot Sauce Expo. Special thank you to Steve at Mammoth for sending us that great video before this episode recording. Special shout out to Lauren and Susan at Hot Graham Sauce Company, they celebrated their anniversary recently. They posted online. Happy anniversary to them.
Heck yeah.
Congrats to Cast Iron Kyle and his now fiance. He just got engaged.
Nice.
Posted that, I think, last week. And special shout out to David from Apocalypse. He just posted about his 2-year, I believe it was his 2-year anniversary of being in business with Apocalypse. So I know he's got some big things in the works. He kind of is taking a step back from social media, but he did make sure to post that anniversary. And I don't know if it's still going on, so don't quote me on this, but I think he was doing like a 20% off discount for his anniversary of the business. So if you're listening to this, check it out to see if that's still in effect. Maybe he's got something else going on. Apocalypse, another one that has the shrunken head sauce we mentioned, another really good lime cilantro sauce, nice green sauce.
As a wedding gift, we need to get Kyle, whether we're invited or not. Don't invite us.
I don't think
feel
we're
like that
invited.
wedding wouldn't be a great time. I'm sarcasm. I'm subliminally jabbing at him to get us invited. You know.
Okay. Sure.
We need to find him
Reverse
the absolute
psychiatry.
oldest flea market garage sale deviled egg tray we can find as a wedding present. I feel like he would enjoy that.
In the realm of all the great ideas we give out on this podcast, that's a really good idea, because that's something where you find the most antique, like you find the original deviled egg tray that was like, just batted in by horse hooves out in the Wild West, and then they just threw a little like horseshoe in the middle.
That's funny.
Yeah, no, that's pretty great.
That's our ticket. That's our ticket to the wedding. He's got to invite us now.
Yeah, by law, I think he has to. Like, I think that's the...
Or no deviled egg tray for you, buddy.
No, I like... So is it bribery? Are we going with bribery to get invited to this wedding?
That was a little too aggressive.
Is that where we're at?
That was borderline a threat, not giving someone a deviled egg tray.
Yeah, I mean, back in like the 1960s and 70s, like refusing to give a deviled egg tray, I think that is, equal to like at least manslaughter. I think that's the level of crime that they equate that to.
Get your good warning.
But those are all the mentions we wanted to mention on the episode here. Thank you for listening. However you listen, we do appreciate you. Special shout out to Harold at flamerlame.pro, who's a part of our Patreon. If you want to consider supporting the podcast and gain additional perks, check out the Patreon in the links in our Instagram and our social medias. Whether you join or not, we do appreciate you listening. If you'd like to sponsor an episode, just like Neil did with Tears of Joy Hot Sauce Expo, send us a message at theheatsourcepod@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram at the Heat Source Podcast for all updates. And tune in next week when I think potentially we may have a guest. It's either next week or the following. We have a guest coming.
Perfect.
And we have a couple guests that we've been talking to, so we might have
love those
maybe every other, might have some more guests.
Yeah, someone gets to talk.
Or maybe
half. I love it.
Yeah, or maybe it'll just be me and Mike, and one of us will pretend to be a guest. Maybe
I always feel like I'm a guest on this show.
Even though we're closing the episode, I want there to be an episode where it's just you have to talk. It's a one-man show, and I'm like, Mike, you can't turn it off until you get 50 minutes. And just see how you can go talking to yourself about hot sauce.
Won't happen.
It's just an episode of you just staring at the camera.
I don't have it in me. I have a hopper full of words for each day. It's a very small hopper. When I run out, nothing else is said. There's some days Courtney's like, well, what's wrong? I'm like, nothing. I had to talk earlier today, and I'm good. I did it.
Okay.
I spoke today.
Well, maybe we'll do 2 episodes that week. It's like, hey, one episode is Mike just staring, and then the other episode is our regular. But yeah, and then we'll try some more sauce coming up soon. We still have this daddle garlic that we got to crack open. This I'm holding hostage until you come into the studio to record.
Hey, I know it sounds like a stretch and an excuse, but I finally got my truck back from the shop after 6 months, So
find out when we try that daddle garlic from Stanky Sauce, and then we can try their garlic bread recipe. All right. See ya. Did I tell you what my dad's feedback was from like watching our stuff?
Smile more.
He's just like, yeah, I just wish you would smile more. And I'm like,
Me or you, or both
me,
of us. Oh,
me. Like like not no offense, but like he doesn't really know you. But he's just like, no, like I know
you
you're
always
having a
have a
good
frown,
time,
dude. It's the mustache. Just the way I trim it just gives me like this biker frown.
but like yeah, he's like, I know you're having a good time. Like I know that you're enjoying it. It's good stuff. He's like, it's just yeah, you just don't show it. And then I pulled up a couple clips and like, well, no, there's this one where I'm like laughing about, it, and I'm like, no, I'm kind of just like, you know,
That's so
and
funny.
so now I'm like,
No, look at my mustache. It
I
gives
gotta
me the
twirl
biker
it.
frown. It looks like I left Sturgis and saw no the whole time. It's just like a permanent frown.